guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a review and demo featuring Blend brushes. And Blend brushes is an indie brand and they have brushes and cosmetics. So today I'm going to be showing you the products that I have from the brand. I'm going to be kind of putting them to the test and showing you guys what my thoughts are. So Blend brushes obviously has makeup brushes and I have 5 to share with y'all today. They do kits and sets with different brushes and then of course they do individuals. And today I have 5 of their pro brushes to share with you guys. And I've got 3 face brushes and 2 eye brushes. And I did use all of these to create the makeup that I have on my face today. So the first one that I have is a foundation brush. And this is the Blend Brushes Pro Flat Kabuki brush. And this one retails for $18. And then the next one that I have is a larger fluffy brush, and this is the Blend Brushes Pro Tapered Face Brush, and this one retails for $18. And then I've got the angled one, which is the Blend Brushes Pro Angled Contour Brush. This one retails for $16. And then as for the 2 eye brushes, the first one I have here is the fluffy one, which is the Blend Brushes Pro Eyeshadow Brush. And then I've got the Blend Brushes Angled Crease Brush, and both of those retail for $14. So the first brush that I have today is the Blend Brushes Pro Flat Kabuki brush, which is a really dense flat top foundation brush. I used this to apply my foundation and concealer, and it did a really good job of smoothing everything over. Because of how dense the bristles are, it really helps to smooth over the foundation, and it really helps to build and pack on products. Anytime you have super dense brushes like this, it will help you to build and add coverage. The next brush that I have is the Blend Brushes Pro Tapered Face Brush. This one retails for $18. This is a tapered, really soft powder brush. It's nice and fluffy, and I love the taperness because it's good for using to set the face so that you can powder with a purpose, apply the product underneath the eyes really well, and I even used it to add some bronzer in my complexion, and I thought that the tapered point was really nice for kind of getting in the contours of the skin. And then my next brush is the Blend Brushes Pro Angled Contour Brush. This one retails for $16, and this one is quite dense, so I definitely wouldn't call this a bronzer brush. It's definitely more of a contour brush because of how dense the bristles are. It's going to apply a lot of product, and it's not going to so much focus on blending as it is as placement. So I would definitely use this for contour opposed to bronzer or blush. And then I even actually turned it on its side and used it to apply highlight too. And then as for the 2 eye brushes, the first one is the Blend Brushes Pro Eyeshadow Brush. This is a very fluffy, almost tapered eyeshadow brush. It's very narrow, so it's nice and slim, and it's very soft, so it's great for blending out any eyeshadow that's on the lids. I used it to apply my crease shade and also to blend out the shadows. And I like how long the bristles are because the longness really helps to blend out the products, and how long the bristles are will help you to move product around more without being a packing brush. And then the next brush is the Blend Brushes Angled Crease Brush. This one retails for $14. It only has a very slight angle to it. It's almost just a flat packing brush, like a basic eyeshadow brush. The angle is so slight, but I do really like how small and flat this brush is because I thought it did a good job on packing product onto the lid. And then I also like it for up on the brow bone because it does have that little slight angle to it. So my favorite brush out of all of the blend brushes would definitely be the foundation brush. I thought that this one was the most impressive compared to the other brushes that I used. I think it did a great job of smoothing over foundation. I really like how dense and like hard it is. Not hard in a bad way, but it's just very stiff. So no product's gonna go in between the bristles here. It really stays nice on top, and it really does a good job of just smoothing and blending everything onto the skin. I like really dense foundation brushes because I like full coverage, and the more dense your brush is, the better it'll be for you to build up coverage without losing any product into the brush itself. So I was really impressed by this one. The issue that I had with the larger powder brush is it actually shed pretty bad on me. I haven't washed it yet, so I do hope that when I wash it, maybe it'll lose some of those stray hairs and maybe it won't be quite as shedding as it is now. But from current use, I do notice this sheds quite a bit. With me just pulling on it, I'm not like losing any hairs, so it's definitely not the worst shedding I've ever seen, but when I was using it on my face, it was very frustrating. I did have at multiple points of doing my makeup finding little hairs that were either stuck to my skin or were falling into my lap as I was doing my makeup. So I love the shape of this one. It's a very soft brush, and these taper face brushes are some of my favorite to work with because I find that they're really versatile, but it did shed pretty bad. The contour brush was awesome. I think this is a great shape. I like that it's a really slight angle for contouring. Some brushes are angled so much that I'm like, my face isn't this shape, so it just doesn't work for me. But I like how small it is. I think it's a great size. Just does a good job of getting right up in there, right where you want it. It's definitely not a blending brush. It's a pretty intense brush. So like I was mentioning earlier, I wouldn't use it to try to blend products out. But I really, really like it for placing products, and I could see myself actually liking a lot for cream contouring as well. The eye brushes were great. They're just standard good little eye brushes. I really thought that the black one shed a little tiny bit more than I would have liked it to. It wasn't anything bad where I was finding like little hairs all over my face, but I did have a couple little hairs fall out. But again, as I'm pulling on it, it's nothing crazy, and a lot of newer brushes do tend to shed at first. So I'm hoping maybe they'll kind of grow out of it. I like the length of these brushes a lot. It does bother me when brushes are too short or too long. I think these are a great size as far as like artistry goes. Having a longer brush is important to be able to get that wrist action in there. So I did enjoy that, and I think this is a good simple brush. It's nothing too fancy, nothing too unique, but it did a good job. It's always hard for me to find a good blending brush though, and I really like the shape of this one. I just think it's a good blending shape. It's small enough you can use it in the crease section, but it's big enough that you can blend with it. So I was pretty happy with this guy. Overall, on the brushes, they're a nice weight to them. They're definitely some of the lighter brushes I've used in comparison to like my Sephora Pro brushes. These are quite a bit heavier. The ferrule's quite a bit heavier in this, and you can feel the difference in that these are much heavier than these guys. But they, you know, they're not so lightweight that they feel really cheap and tacky. They just don't feel high end. They're definitely more that like middle range kind of brush quality. They're not the cheapest of the cheap, but they're not the best of the best. And I think the price kind of reflects that as well. The next product I have here is the Blend Contour and Highlight Palette. This is their contour palette. It is a duo, so it is just 2 shades. And this one retails for $20. This is probably the biggest contour palette I've ever seen. I really appreciate the fact that it is only 2 colors, because I do feel like sometimes it can be overwhelming with how many shades you get in contour palettes, to where it's like I don't need that many products, especially if it's just for you, just for one person, and you aren't doing makeup on others. Having something like that kind of simplifies the process. I really like the shades in these. I think that contour shade's a great medium range. It's not too dark, not too light. I think it's an awesome color, and I think the size of these is really nice. They are massive. They're the biggest contour and highlight shades I've ever seen, but I think that they're kind of nice because you're not ever gonna worry about running out of product, and if you are someone who only wants 2 shades, then I think the size is convenient. They do swatch really well. They're quite pigmented shades. The highlight is a really soft sheen. It's not like an intense highlight. You're not gonna get a lot of like shimmer and reflect off of it, but it is a nice light highlight, and I find that a lot of people actually go for that. Personally, I prefer more intense highlighters. I like to be beaming up until the gods can see me. But if you want something a little more subtle, maybe a little more everyday, maybe for maybe a more mature client, then you might really enjoy this one. And I did really like the contour. I thought it blended out well, but it had enough pigment that you could actually see it and work with it, but it wasn't too difficult to blend out. So I thought this was a really nice little palette here, and I could see a lot of beginners really enjoying this one. Next, I have some of the Blend Brushes eyeshadows. These are just single shadows, and these retail for $8.99, and I have 4 of them to share with you guys. This is what the packaging looks like. They're very sleek, and they're just a nice simple little black container that flips open, and you've got your shadow inside, you've got your name on the back, and then you've got your clear packaging on the front. These are super reminiscent of the MAC single shadows. I think that these definitely remind me a lot of the MAC single shadows. When I first saw them, that was the first thought that came to my mind. I know a lot of people don't like when brands do that, when they kind of like mimic other brand packaging. I personally love when brands do that, as long as it's not like a knockoff or it's not too tacky. I think that this packaging is really nice. It's very lightweight. It's definitely not like weight compared to MAC single shadows, but I think they're really nice. I think they look very classy, and I do really love the packaging on these. Okay, so the first shade is called A2. This is a beautiful satin taupey kind of shade. Has a purple sheen to it, and this one is quite shimmery, and this one is definitely more on the pigmented side. The next one is called A7, and this one is like a peachy color. It has a slight shimmer to it, but it's not the most shimmery of all of them. And this one is just a nice peachy shade that you could use as a transition shade, but it does have a little bit of a sheen. And then the next one is called A10. There's not a lot to see in this one. It's just a soft matte vanilla shade. This one was the least pigmented out of all of them, and it is the only matte that I have to show you. And then this next one is called A12. This is my favorite one out of the bunch. This one is a beautiful amber tone. This one builds up really well. It's very pigmented, very soft, and I think that this is a beautiful color for all over the lid. Okay, so then I have two of the lip products. These are the lip liners, which retail for $12, and then these are the matte liquid lipsticks, which retail for $20. This is a lip liner packaging. I think this is very reminiscent of MAC lip liners in the sense that you have your black matte packaging, you've got your little color swatch here at the end, and then your writing. I do, once again, really like the packaging of these. I think they're very cute, very sleek. I really appreciate that these are sharpenable lip liners because I personally love wooden sharpenable lip liners. I know a lot of people hate that and they like to have retractable lip liners, but the sharpenable ones are definitely my preference. Here are the swatches of the lip liners. This one that's more of a nudie brown shade is called Honey Bun. And then this bottom one that's a little bit pinker, this one is called Dusty Rose. I think these are two really popular shades of lip liners. I think people are gonna love these. They really remind me of the more popular shades that tend to run in MAC lip liners and kind of that like Kylie Jenner lip look that everyone loves right now. So I think that these lip liners are really awesome. And like I said, I love sharpenable lip liners and I found these super easy to use. And then for the liquid lipsticks, they have big old packaging. These are like huge. I'm gonna show you guys an Nastasia liquid lipstick just as a comparison. It's quite a bit chubbier. It's very big. And these ones are just like your standard matte liquid lipstick. So they're a liquid formula that dries to a matte. And I found these really easy to apply and they are not drying at all. I think they feel really, really good on the lips. And they do transfer just a little bit. Can you see that color there? It does transfer just a tiny bit opposed to other liquid lipsticks that maybe don't dry at all. But they are a very matte finish. They don't have a sheen to them. They transfer onto your cup. They'll transfer onto someone if you're kissing them, but they still wear really well. I've been wearing these for hours and they're not moving. And I think that it's nice to have that matte finish that's a little bit more hydrating, even if it does mean you get a little bit of transfer, because then your lips don't dry out and get all gross and like cracky. So this one is shade 105, which is the nude one. And then this one is shade 100, which is a pink one. And I'll show you guys swatches. This nude one is 100 and this pink one is 105. They're very pigmented, very smooth. They have a pretty strong scent to them. So if you're not a big scent person, you might not like them. It's a very vanilla-y cake scent. A lot of liquid lipsticks tend to have that like really sweet cake scent to it. It smells very forced, very fragranced, but once it's on your lips, you can't feel it. And I would rather have the scent because I just like that scent better, but you really can't smell it once it's on and it's not like annoying or anything like that. And they're very comfortable. We're very easy to apply and I love both of those colors. And I actually have them both on my lips layered today. Alright guys, so that's it for all of the review and demo about blend brushes. The one comment I do have to make about the brand is I do feel like the price is a little bit high for the quality. I do feel like some of these products are a little overpriced, but good news is I do have a discount code. So if you use the code 20Madison, you guys can get 20% off of your order, which definitely makes it more affordable and I think definitely makes it more worth the price. So I will leave details in the description box down below if you guys want to check anything out. And as always, thank you so much for watching this video. I really love trying out new brands and kind of exposing new brands and putting them to the test. So I hope you guys enjoy that too. If you liked this video, definitely give me a thumbs up and please subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you so much for watching. I will see y'all later. Mwah. Bye.